I want to talk to you today about staying positive toward yourself. The most important relationship you have is the relationship with yourself. Many people don't like who they are. They focus on their faults and weaknesses, relive their mistakes and failures, and wish they were different. They imagine if they were taller, had a better personality, or looked like someone else, they'd be happy. They fail to accept themselves as masterpieces made in the image of God. They're critical of themselves and wonder why they're not happy, or why their relationships aren't fulfilling. It's because they don't like themselves. If you don't get along with you, you're not going to get along with others. Jesus said, "Love your neighbor as you love yourself." You can't love others if you don't first love yourself. The best thing you can do for your family and friends is to be good to yourself. Be kind, merciful, forgiving, and loving to yourself. You're good to others. Why aren't you good to you? You wouldn't criticize a friend, so why are you criticizing yourself? You compliment your co-workers, so when was the last time you complimented yourself? You admire others' talents, but why don't you admire your own? Start being good to you. That's not being selfish or arrogant. That's loving yourself. Too many people go through life against themselves, feeling wrong on the inside. Are you your own enemy? Are you defeating yourself, limiting your dreams, and sabotaging your relationships all because you don't like yourself? You have enough people and circumstances against you. Don't be against yourself. When you wake up in the morning, don't lie in bed thinking of everything wrong with you, what you don't like about your looks, or reliving your mistakes. Instead, start focusing on what's right with you. You may have weaknesses and have made mistakes, but there's a lot more right with you than wrong. Dwelling on the negative doesn't help you do better, and beating yourself up for past mistakes doesn't move you forward. The better you feel about yourself, the better you'll do. The more you like yourself, the further you'll go. You can't give away what you don't have. If you're in turmoil on the inside, mad at yourself, critical and condemned, that's what you have to give. If you're hard on yourself, you'll be hard on others. If you don't forgive yourself, you won't forgive others. If you don't get along with yourself, how can you get along with your family? The best thing you can do is start being for yourself. When you love yourself, then you can love others. When you're kind to yourself, then you can be kind to others. It starts with you. If you're waiting to perform perfectly before you feel good about who you are, you'll be waiting your whole life. You have to accept yourself while you're in the process of changing. God knew you would have weaknesses. He made you. You're not a surprise to him. He's not in heaven scratching his head thinking, "I didn't see that coming. They're a mess. What am I going to do?" He knew there would be things you struggle with. You're not supposed to beat yourself up because you haven't arrived yet. No one has arrived. There will always be some area we need to improve in. In fact, I believe God leaves weaknesses on purpose, so we'll have to depend on him. He's changing you from glory to glory. Learn to enjoy the glory you're in right now. You may not be where you want to be, but you're not where you used to be. Instead of looking at how far you have to go, look back and thank God for how far he's already brought you. It takes a mature person to say, "I'm okay with where I am while I'm on the way to where God is taking me." Don't focus on your losses, flaws, and mistakes. That's why some people are negative toward themselves. The wrong images are always playing in their minds. Focus on your victories. Focus on the times you succeeded, resisted temptation, were disciplined, and excelled. Don't let the negative take up the most space in your mind. You can't become who you're created to be if you're negative toward yourself. Yes, there are forces trying to stop us, but I wonder if you are your own enemy. Circumstances may be against you, and people will come against you, but you can overcome those things. The problem is if you are against you, if you're negative toward yourself, that can keep you from your destiny. God has given us different gifts, personalities and temperaments. Sometimes we're fighting who we are, trying to be like someone else. You have to accept who God has made you to be. Sure, there are areas we can improve and grow in, but there are certain things that are just who we are. You have the right personality, gifts and looks. You're the right height and come from the right family. You weren't shortchanged or at a disadvantage. You've been fearfully and wonderfully made. Walk in your anointing. Be confident with your gifts. Let your personality shine. There isn't another person in this world like you. The enemy would love for you to go through life trying to be an imitation, copying someone else that you think is more attractive, more gifted, or more successful. No, be you. Nobody can do you like you can do you. You're not anointed to be someone else. The anointing on your life, the favor, the blessing is to be you. You won't activate the favor and you won't see the abundance if you're trying to be something you're not. Feeling wrong on the inside because you're not like someone else. Are you fighting what makes you unique? Are you frustrated over what you think is a weakness when in fact it's a strength? Quit wishing you were something different and step into who God made you to be. He didn't accidentally give you the wrong personality, make you too quiet, too outgoing, or the wrong gifts. He matched you with your world. You have exactly what you need to fulfill your destiny. We can always grow and improve, but you can't fight who God made you to be. Don't go your whole life wishing you were something different, wishing you had a better personality, wishing you were more talented, or wishing you were like your neighbor, when in fact you're exactly who you're supposed to be. What you don't realize is half the time your neighbor is wishing they could be you. They see all the good things about you, do you? What would happen if you started loving yourself, accepting your gifts, not beating yourself up for mistakes, not being down on yourself because of weaknesses? Stay positive towards yourself. Most of us wouldn't criticize other people. You wouldn't go up to someone and say, "You sure don't look good today. Those clothes don't do anything for you." You may think it, but you wouldn't say it. Why are you criticizing yourself? When you criticize yourself, you are criticizing God's creation. You might as well look up and say, "God, you didn't do a very good job on me." He doesn't make mistakes. Don't say another negative thing about yourself. "I'm so undisciplined. I can't do anything right. I don't have a good personality. I'll never lose this weight. I'll never break the addiction." Quit being against yourself. You don't need another enemy. Be as good to yourself as you are to others. Be kind, merciful, and loving to yourself. When you wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, and instead of saying, "Oh man, I'm getting so old, look at all these wrinkles, it's all downhill from here," try a different approach. Say, "Good morning, you good-looking thing. I'm made in the image of God. I'm a masterpiece. I have royal blood flowing through my veins." Start acknowledging all the good things that you're doing. That's what's going to help you do better. Being down on yourself not only keeps you from enjoying life, but keeps you from rising higher. When you achieve something, take a moment to recognize it and give yourself credit. Celebrate yourself. Compliment yourself. Acknowledge what God has enabled you to do. Recognize His favor, His anointing, and His blessing on your life. You have plenty of areas to improve in, but that's okay. You're not running someone else's race. Feel good about you. You have enough enemies in life. Don't be against yourself. You should be your biggest fan. Nobody should think better of you than you. Sometimes we're taught, no, don't think good of yourself, be humble, lowly. No, you have to recognize the Creator of the universe breathes life into you. He's entrusted you with gifts, talents, and abilities. He's crowned you with favor. Don't go through life thinking little of yourself, focused on your weaknesses, dwelling on your failures. Start acknowledging the good. Step into your potential. Show off that talent. Don't be your enemy. Be your asset. When you acknowledge the good, when you say, "Lord, thank you for helping me to shine. Thank you for your gifts. Thank you for taking me where I've never dreamed," then your faith is made effective. You're going to see new doors open, new opportunities. You may be good at complimenting others, but you need to get good at complimenting yourself. You don't have to do it out loud, but in your mind you need to say, "That was good. I got to work on time. That was good. I did excellent on that presentation. That was good. I helped my neighbor last night. That was good." Why don't you start giving yourself the credit that you give others? You told that friend they look good. Have you told yourself that you look good? You complimented your co-worker. Have you complimented yourself? Well, you might say, "I would feel good about myself, but I've made these mistakes. If I had been more disciplined." The mistake didn't change your purpose. Don't let failures, weakness, and the past hold you back from stepping into your greatness. Do you know who does their best work in brokenness, mistakes, and weakness? God. He has a purpose for everything. He uses everything. So start loving yourself and see what He can do with the masterpiece He created.